Punishment. Did you feel a slight tension when you heard this word? Did your heart beat a little faster because the brain perceives the word punishment not as money but as a threat? But there's something strange. The same brain forgets that threat when it gets behind the wheel. The word punishment actually activates the amygdala region of the brain. This region perceives danger, tries to protect you, says stop, up, 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 up. But here's the strange part. The brain sees immediate reward as more important than future punishment. So, according to the brain, texting on the phone, speeding, bending the rules are enjoyable right now. As for the penalty, maybe it will happen, and the brain says, then go ahead and do it. For our ancestors, punishment wasn't money. It meant being ostracized from the herd, going hungry, not surviving. In other words, punishment meant the risk of death. That's why the brain was very clear back then. If you make a mistake, the result is certain. If you do it right, you survive. But today, there is radar, but not everywhere. There is a camera, but sometimes not. There is police, but not all the time. The brain figured this out. If I don't get caught, there's no problem. In our country, however, the traffic penalty system has gradually increased over the years. Penalties increased. What did everyone say? It's not enough. It should be higher. But when it's their own penalty, this is too much. The human brain splits into two here. The societal mode says rules are necessary. Its own mode says there was nothing personal, you know. So the issue is not really the penalty, but the likelihood of getting caught and habit. Actually, the real problem is this. People are not avoiding the penalty. They are acting automatically. So speeding is not considered. Looking at the phone is not noticed. Running a red light becomes a habit, and habit is stronger than the fear of punishment. Now, we've come to the solutions part. If you truly don't want to get a traffic ticket, you solve it not by thinking about the penalty, but by reprogramming your brain. Now, I will give you a brain command that no one has told you about. The human brain does not calculate risk, it calculates probability. So when you're behind the wheel, your brain doesn't say, this is dangerous, don't do it. Instead it says, the chance of getting caught is low, you can do it. When you're behind the wheel, most of the time, you're not in control. The habit brain takes over. That's why the brain sees the penalty as distant, but experiences the behavior now. The phone is a reward now, the penalty maybe later, and the brain always chooses this. What happens now wins. Before making any mistake in traffic, tell yourself for 2 seconds, not what if I get caught, but what will be the result of this, and quickly visualize it in your mind. Hitting someone, the car getting damaged, the sound of an ambulance, the feeling of panic at that moment. Be realistic, not exaggerated, because the brain might not take what might happen seriously. It truly accepts things that feel like they are happening. When you think of the outcome, it stops being a possibility of punishment. The danger happens now, and at that moment, your foot lifts off the gas. Therefore, your hand never reaches for the phone. People think that higher fines are needed to avoid traffic tickets. But the truth is, the brain fears habit, not punishment. If you change the habit, punishment won't exist in your life anyway.